She's got that look. She's got that style. She's got that conversation that makes you want to stay for a while. She's the all-American woman. Hi, I'm glad you joined me today. We are on part 4 of the series, Women Your Kids Should Know. Today we're going to be talking about classic entertainers. Now, when I say classic, I mean those entertainers that were probably around before you or your kids were around. So, we're going to get started with Miss Marian Anderson. Now, I have 2 books about Marian Anderson, but there are a multitude of books about her. Now, Marian Anderson, this is called Marian Anderson Revised Edition, A Great Singer. And this is Great African Americans. And this was written by Patricia and Frederick McKissack. Alright, so this book is a great book because for our young readers that are probably about like around third grade and above, it has the nice size writing, but a bit too much for like our young beginning readers. And it has nice pictures as well, portraits, and it also has a timeline that you can go by in the back, and a little dictionary in the back as well. Alright, and I have another book by Marian Anderson. Same thing, beautiful book. This one is Journey to Freedom, from the African American Library. This was in her time from 1897 to 1993. Alright, and this one was written by James Meadows. This also has some beautiful, beautiful pictures in there, glamorous shots from her time in American history. Now, some of you may or may not know, Marian Anderson was the first African American to sing at the Metropolitan Opera House. And, you know, she did so many other things. She was on Broadway. She was a pioneer for women's rights and also African American civil rights. So she did so much. And because being the first sometimes means being the forgotten. But thankfully this was not the case with Marian Anderson. Okay. Our next person that we're going to talk about is Miss Lena Horne. And that's the legendary Miss Lena Horne. And it was written by Carol Boston Weatherford. And as you see, this is a gorgeous picture of her, but does not do her justice. No. Lena Horne. These are mainly illustrations, not pictures, but they're lovely. And this is going to be this is one of those books that I like to get for buddy readers, like young readers and older readers to read together, because the pictures are so vibrant and the writing is just enough that it's not too much for the young readers, but it may be too much for them to read by themselves. So this would be an excellent buddy reader book. Now, the book itself about Lena Horne, Lena Horne was a famous African American actress. She was one of the first to refuse to be a maid in the movies that they had back then when they first started doing the talkies, as they call them. And she refused to, like I said, she refused to be a maid in hers. And even when she was in films, she was sometimes cut out of those films when they were played in the South, because they refused to have watch films that had African Americans in them. So she was an activist. She was also a very beautiful woman. Some people do remember her for that, but I believe she's a good, beautiful woman inside and out. She lived a long time, and her beauty inside and out never faded. Okay. Our next person is Miss Ella Fitzgerald. Now, I say her name like that because you have to say her name like that. She was jazz personified. She was jazz. You can't think of jazz without thinking of Ella Fitzgerald. So, this is the tale of a vocal virtuoso. This was written by Andrea Davis Pickney. And this also has these beautiful, beautiful illustrations, almost like jazz in itself. As you can see, Ella Fitzgerald was a singer, but she was not any singer. Ella could take a song and make it into something great, like a composition like none other. She was just the greatest, one of the greatest vocalists ever. That's why they say a vocal virtuoso. Her voice was a musical instrument all its own. Yeah, and this is a great book. And I think that the young readers especially will love it because of the pictures. And this is another one where I think that it would be lovely for a buddy reading book because of the pictures are so grand and so beautiful, but also the words are a little bit small, so it'd probably be too much for just a beginning reader. But a third grader reader, fourth grader reader, or an adult to read to the kids. Yeah, and instead of chapters, they have tracks, like on a musical disc. It's beautiful. Alright, so our last person that we have the book by is Miss Billie Holiday. And this one, there are a lot of books about all of the ladies we talked about today, to include Billie Holiday. This one in particular is about her song, Strange Fruit. Billie Holiday and the power of a protest song. Now, I don't want to go too much into the meaning of the song because of the young watchers, but this song was so poignant for its time. It's even that way now. You know, you cannot hear this song without seeing the words in what she's saying. And it's beautiful and sad all at the same time. So this book tells the story of the song, a little bit, gives a little bit of a biography about Billie Holiday herself. And I like it because it also talks a little bit about you know, the people, the surroundings, the city that she lived in, and why this song was so important for the time. It's a really beautiful song. And just so you know, it also does not go into too many details about the meaning of the song, so that it's the ugliness, you know, is not there, but the meaning is still conveyed. So I think this is a really good book for fourth graders and up, for sure. Even third graders, possibly. It's not a chapter book, but it's probably a little bit too much for our young readers. So I'd say fourth grade and up is a safe a safe deduction there. Okay. So now our honorable mentions for today are Eartha Kitt, who was an entertainer and also an activist during her time. Now, there are a lot of books also written about her, but most of her books are adult books. But that were written about her, her biographies were mostly adult books, and she also wrote her own autobiography. Now, she did also write children's books. I do not have any of those, unfortunately, but please look them up because there are some cute books. I have not read any, but I plan on it. And then we have Miss Maria Tallchief, and she was considered America's first major prima ballerina. Now, I don't have a book for her, but there are, again, quite a few books for her, about her, and also children's books. One in particular is the Who Was series, and I had it and I could not find it for this segment, but you should definitely get that. She's a Native American woman, which is also a major thing, and she was just moving art. You can actually go onto YouTube and see some videos with her dancing. It's just wonderful. Alright, so those are the ladies that we have for today. I hope you enjoyed the segment. If you know some ladies that I missed that you would like to hear about, or if you want to talk about the ladies that I brought to you today, please let me know as well. Alright, I will see you next time.